Welcome back to the genres, but of top 5 best genres of 2018. Before we start, I'm going to do a quick review on Aquaman that I saw 2 days ago. And Aquaman was starring Jason Momoa, Willem Dafoe, Dolph Lundgren, uh, Patrick Wilson. That's usually a lot. And the story was that Aquaman was coming from the surface by challenging his brother to the throne. He came from the surface to challenge his brother to the throne, and then he was trying to find the golden staff, and he was trying to rule the world. And then, so far, Aquaman's a decent superhero movie. It's a lot better than Justice League, Suicide Squad, and Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, and Man of Steel. But it's not as great as Wonder Woman. It's not as good. But I think James Wan did amazing directing as Aquaman, and Aquaman's a decent character. There's parts of him that's okay, but I just think I don't know if the thing I was not knowing. I think it was like a prequel or a sequel. It doesn't get it a little bit, but it was an okay movie. But I just wanted to do a quick review. But Aquaman, it is a fine movie. It's good but not great, but it's a decent film. But I'll give Aquaman a. The pacing was actually pretty decent. I forgot about it. And the soundtrack's pretty good. Action was very entertaining. The only thing that was crazy parts were the sharks, the shark lasers, and the crocodiles with lasers. That seemed pretty crazy, right? And that is all. And I'm just gonna give Aquaman a 7 out of 10 and a B plus. That's just the only thing I can think about. All right, so that's all I have for Aquaman. That's my quick review. And here's what I have. It's today top 5 best horror movies of 2018. And we're going to start with number 5. So the fifth best horror movie we got in 2018 is Halloween 2018. Halloween had it's probably a lot better than the horrible sequels like Halloween Resurrection or Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers or Halloween 4 The Revenge of Michael Myers. And it was actually really good with a lot of the whole music twists soundtrack. I mean, how you think the third act is of the twist, you think, spoiler alert, it gets a little bit like Home Alone. I mean, it's coming on digital next week or so, I don't know. And Halloween was good but not great, but I still think the first one is the best, and Halloween 2018 would be in second place. The first Halloween's the best. Number 4, Mandy. Mandy is the one that stars Nicolas Cage, and these bad guys gets his wife killed like zombies or something, and then he really didn't really talk a lot in the whole movie, and he was been trying to survive, and he was coming out for revenge. And this movie is very, very bloody, and it does a little bit like a little. And I would say Mandy was an enjoyable Mandy, I would say it's probably a pretty good Nicolas Cage movie, but it was fine. Number 3. Number 3, it's A Quiet Place. A Quiet Place, was it really a silent film? I mean, there was a little bit of talking, and I think it was probably one of the best horror movies since Get Out, but Get Out wasn't really that scary, but there was just a lot of stuff that were just awkward and strange. You know how the critics are saying the best horror movie since Get Out? Get Out wasn't really a horror movie. It was just a lot of thriller, plot twists, and everything. But I'll say, but A Quiet Place, it was really a pretty disturbing movie, but I still like that film. I still liked it, but I would probably watch this again or probably not if it was a silent film, but if I was kind of get jump scared, I'd be like, ah! Something like that. Number 2, Hereditary. Hereditary is one of the most scariest horror movies ever made. And I was it's really a breathtaking film, and the mother in that movie had the best performance, and it's the best movie mom ever. And that's my number 2 favorite horror movie of 2018. And I still thought like it was like intense craziness everywhere. But like after this girl died by decapitation, spoiler alert, I'm sorry. It was like, oh jeez, oh my god, this seems scary. Jeez. And that was like really a lot much for Hereditary. Number one, the most best horror movie that's combining with action. But I was really loving this movie a lot. It was like jump scaring combining with horror movies, and it was combined of an apocalypse, kind of bit like an apocalypse. Number one, Overlord. Overlord was half horror movie, half action movie. But I'll probably put Overlord in the best horror movie of action or whatever. But Overlord was like having like best like Nazis and zombies, like pretty intense. Like I was like loving that a lot. And Overlord, when I saw this in the theater, I had like a hell of a good time for this movie. And they only had like two zombies I could have told you about, but I was okay with that. But it was really like so much monsters and everywhere, and Overlord was like my number one, and I would probably buy it on Blu-ray or DVD. So those are my top five: Halloween, Mandy, A Quiet Place, Hereditary, and Overlord. And forgot about the honorable mentions. The honorable mentions are The Meg, The First Purge, and that's it. So that is all I got, and I'll see you next time. Bye.